What's up, Internet? Advantageous here, bringing you the last of my very delicious Let's Plays. This time I finally have for you a full 6v6 team. So I'm sure you guys are totally hyped for that. I did have a lot of fun using this. It was nice to be able to use a passerby. I did have some passerby battles. I actually had one against one of my friends with it. But this was a guy I battled before, and he has a very competitive UU team, and there was just not much I could do. Like, I'm using a gimmicky NU team. So, like, I could have taken on that team with my my super strong RU team. But yeah, it was too strong, and you know, when people are just playing to win, no matter what, it's just not fun. And this is where the line draws for me, where I get into that sort of thing, where, you know, I've got the Sinnoh Classic battles that I'm going to show you, and I just get so frustrated. And it's just, I'm like, why do I want to play like this? Like, why do I want to keep doing this? I just realized that, you know, I'm never going to be in that true competitive thing. Like, I'll never compete in VGC or any of that, because for me, it's just not worth it. You know, I like doing this. I like making cool teams. I like having fun battles, and I like putting them on YouTube to share with people. And that brings me joy. I love doing it. I don't get frustrated if I go against a bad opponent or just have really bad luck. I'm just like, okay, and I just, you know, say battle's done, and I just, you know, I stop worrying. So it's nice. So enough rambling. I'm gonna get this battle started. So as you can see from the team preview, obviously a rather OU kind of looking team, mixed here. Gengar, Sylveon, very scary. So I'm going to lead with my Regirock. Obviously, seeing an Executor right there is kind of scary. It goes for the Giga Drain, as it doesn't even take me down to Sturdy, which is great. As I'm going to get off my Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to go for the Custap Berry Explosion. So Regirock, doing a great job. I'm guessing this Executor probably has Harvest. But, you know, I'll deal with that. Like, I have something to deal with that. Obviously, Charizard can just literally come in and, yeah, obviously, and just scare it out. Unfortunately, like, I didn't name my Mons yet. So he actually stays in here, which was a curious play, and then I realized, yeah, he went for the Sleep Powder. So, good prediction, I would say. Probably knew that I was going to try to set up on him. And he switches out into Emboar. I do have Earthquake on here, so if I can get it to work, like if I can wake up, that'd be great. But unfortunately, yeah, I don't want to take a Wild Charge, so I switch out into #GetMarlin, which is my Lantern, and he actually went for the Stone Edge there. I don't know if I would have lived that. Depends on if it was banded or not, which it probably was because it switched out. So he switches into Gengar. As I just go for the safe Scald. Does, like, alright damage, but not that much. I mean, Gengar's not that bulky. And then I see he's got leftovers. I'm like, why would you not put Black Sludge on this? As I was predicting the Will-O-Wisp to come, and I'm like, if anybody wants to get burned, it's GetMarlin. So, I'm just continuing to Scald this Gengar. It can't really do a whole lot to me. I'm expecting him to switch back into Executor to take the Scald, and then it pulls out the Hex. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty sweet. But I am specially defensive. But unfortunately, I'm in a bad spot just because, yeah, I don't know, like with the burn damage, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live another Hex, but I gotta try. I did go for the stockpile because I was predicting him to switch out at this point. Probably didn't think he could touch me. And then unfortunately, Lantern's gonna go down to the next Hex. So, rather unfortunate. So Gengar, yeah, it's just gonna keep sitting there. I'm gonna bring in Charizard. But I knew the Emboar was coming in. So I switched into it, and I'm like, Emboar's coming in. So I'm gonna switch into Embor, or Kangaskhan, and then he went for the Hex, and I remembered, like, oh yeah, I was sleeping. So that was really good. And fortunately, this Gengar actually misses the Will-O-Wisp. So that was clutch by Kang, got to admit. So he's going to bring out Machamp, obviously. And as you can tell, yeah, full shiny team. Not really a surprise. So there's no way I want to sit in here and take this, you know, Dynamic Punch or whatever it wants to go for. So I'm going to switch into Trevenant, who should be able to take this. It's pretty defensive invested, so I'm like thinking I can take anything. And he goes for the knockoff, and that does a ton to me. I was like, whoa! Hold on there, Billy Bob. It's unnecessary. So I get a Leech Seed off on this Machamp, but I know I can't live another knockoff, but I mean, I don't have a Mega or anything that wants to take it. That's unfortunate, but yeah, Trevenant goes down. So in comes, so I decided to bring in Sceptile. It's the fastest thing on the field. I'm hoping he switches out, as I do believe I go for a sub here. That would seem to me like the play to make. Stealth Rocks is continuing to do it. No, I actually go for the Energy Ball. That probably would have been a good play. Maybe I was thinking he did have the Ice Punch and I just wanted to get some good damage. I am carrying the Earthquake on the Sceptile. But unfortunately I am timid nature, so it's not going to be enough. And this Embor is going to take me out. So, bye-bye Sceptile, you're not living that. I don't even think Mega Sceptile could live it. And then yeah, so he does to recall. I thought it was Life Orb. Because yeah, I didn't know what this was. I was thinking it was probably Choice Banded. So I bring in Charizard. He brings in Machamp, which is favorable for me, except like if he's got the Stone Edge, which most Machamps do. And awesomely, Charizard wakes up first turn, outspeeds, Flare Blitz off, and unfortunately it's not going to be enough. And then I see he's got a Rocky Helmet. And it's like, what? And then he does have the Stone Edge, and even with the Chardy Berry, Charizard's not going to live that. Sorry Charizard, you did well. So I'm going to bring in Liu Kang here, because I do believe I can outspeed this Machamp. And now he's low enough, so at least Charizard brought him down low enough, but yeah, I'm sitting in a bad spot. So in comes the Malamar. And now I'm just... Usually Malamars aren't that strong, but he does go for a superpower. And yeah, it does about half to me, but I'm going to pop the Citrus Berry. But with that plus, I don't think I can live the next one. Looking at it, yeah, I might just be able to live it, as I'm going to get another return off. I'm hoping this takes him out, and I get a crit. And I think that crit mattered, honestly. So he's going to bring in Executor, and I'm going to get, and it's going to live the Stealth Rocks, just like, ah, and I'm going to get the return off. And then he's got one Pokemon left, and that is Shiny Sylveon. Yeah, so full shiny team. So this thing does not have much in the way of physical bulk, so I'm believing that this return is going to do a lot. It does great. He shows off the Dazzling Gleam, and looking at that damage, Hyper Voice might have been enough, and then he goes for the quick attack. I'm like, oh no! And then I lived it. I'm like, oh, that was close. I got scared. So that Will-O-Wisp miss on the Gengar way back, that actually turned out to be pretty clutch. That he missed it, because I could not have beaten. I would not have won. And that's not even that's just HP invested Kang, no Salt Vest, just Citrus Berry, return, Earthquake, Power Up Punch, Drain Punch. So really good team. Like, Kang did not have a favorable matchup in this. Like, look at that Machamp, fighting type, Embor fighting, Gengar, Will-O-Wisp, Malamar, Superpower, Sylveon couldn't resist it, and then Executor resists like drain punch things. Like, look at all that. Like, Kang had no chance in this battle, and it came out and pulled off a late game sweep. So that was great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this wonderful battle, and yeah, and that's the last of my berry teams. So thanks again to my subscriber for suggesting this. I really enjoyed this challenge, and if you guys got more challenges to give me, feel free. I'm on Patreon now. You can donate, or like subscribe, donate, whatever you want. Anything is appreciated, and I will try and get you guys even more content. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!